Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are my snipers doing today? I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Okay, today we're going to be talking about the one and only Ondo coin. Now, if you know me or are in the private community, you know I am very, very high on this coin, right? I do believe this is one of those coins where I could put in a lot of money and I could sleep peacefully at night, even if the price drops. Okay, that's how confident I am in this project. And without going into too many details, right? I'll just start off with saying this coin is pretty much backed by BlackRock and JP Morgan. Okay, so the way I see it, in a way, is like the house never loses. Okay, I like, and that's not even talking about the coin itself and the potential and where crypto's heading, right? Like I said, we're not going to dive into that because we're going to be mainly doing technical analysis, and we do mainly technical analysis on this channel. Okay, but yeah, any coin that's backed by JP Morgan and BlackRock, I am interested in. Okay, I am interested in. Now, the thing that I'm not so interested is seeing how this price action is playing out and its potential of dropping further. The annoying thing is, ladies and gentlemen, right, there are World War III tensions, which could delay and drop coins even further down. Okay. For Ondo, we do have this massive support right here. All right, we can see if we just pull up a simple trend line, it's holding fairly well, right? It's holding fairly well for the most part, but we can see, right, when we line it up this way, it's already starting to crumble underneath it slowly. Okay. And the annoying thing about a trend line is sometimes it is just subjective, right? It is sometimes subjective because you could argue even something like this is more proper. Or if we take the last couple of points, something like this, boom, that we are currently like this. Okay. Look, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter too much. The annoying thing I see with this coin's price action is that there is a lot of liquidity to the downside. Liquidity is practically when there's free money and market makers and institutions see it, right? Because the way a lot of people trade and they have their orders and everything, they trade institutionally, or sorry, they trade like a noob. Okay. They just trade trend lines, they trade support and resistance. So they know there's lots of stop losses right around these areas, these key bottoms. Okay. And since, we have the war tensions, since Bitcoin is struggling to hold its price, which we will look at in just a second, right? We can see Bitcoin at $105,000, right? Struggling. It is making a little bit of a comeback, but it has to close above these areas over here, in my opinion, for us to get the market structure shift. Okay, because as of right now, we have just been creating consistent, and I mean very consistent lower highs. Okay, which means even when we pull up but we fail to go higher, we eventually drop back down. And the annoying thing with Bitcoin is there is a gap at 92,000. And since we don't usually just fill up a gap and go a little bit lower, we could potentially be seeing Bitcoin come back to 90,000 if this plays out. So obviously not ideal, right? It would not be ideal for Bitcoin to go back down to roughly 90,000, dropping 13.5%, because you can bet something like Ondo and other coins at the bare minimum are going to drop double. And that's the bare minimum, right? That's the bare minimum. They would drop double. So if we did drop roughly 26%, you can see that we actually would line up and take out a lot of these bottoms, right? We would. And if we drop a little bit further, even like 30%, we would actually take out 3 relevant bottoms. So not ideal, which is why, I'm not too happy with the way the price action has played out over these months and with what's happening with the world at this current moment. Okay. In the events where Bitcoin does start to dominate, things do get better and things do go up. I do expect Ondo then, of course, to have a break of structure and go to the upside. But it would start with respecting this zone over here and having a higher low than this daily candle, we can see, generally speaking, when we look, we are kind of at a reverse head and shoulders on the daily, right? Boom, 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 and boom, right? We have the head, we have one shoulder, we have a huge, gigantic other shoulder, reverse head and shoulders, right? So we can see we do have some type of bullish confirmation as of right now, but we need to see a little bit more, and we need to start seeing it reverse for me to really start feeling confident. Okay. What I would start like, what I want to see, ladies and gentlemen, is for us to start going above and taking out these highs. The next relevant highs for me that I would want Ondo to take out, 90 cents. And by take out, I mean start closing above them. Okay. Boom, 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 right? We can see. So I would love to see Ondo start to close above here. Whatever price action it does, but ultimately you get the point. Take out these areas up top, okay? That is the most important. If we do not see that, even if we see some type of pullback up to 87 cents, 88 cents, but then we go back lower, that does not confirm anything for us. That makes it worse, okay? So, only time will tell. It is not looking the most bullish, to be honest, right? But we have seen last time it made some type of dip, right? Some type of dip. It then recovered and went on a huge run going from 60 cents all the way up until $2.16, which is crazy, right? Absolutely crazy. Absolutely fantastic, in fact. And that's just with Bitcoin dominance dropping a couple percent, right? It's with Bitcoin dominance dropping a couple percent. Overall, I am still very, very bullish on this coin long term. Whether or not things do get delayed, whether or not things do go down, I am still very, very bullish. Okay. I do believe in this project and I know it will do well. For us, even on a higher time frame, we do have to kind of start breaking out of this trend. We can see, right, it's very, very narrow, but it is valid. So, we do also have to make a decision soon, because when we go and look at the monthly, right, we have to make a decision soon with Ondo. Are we going to go up or are we going to go down? Because you can see we are getting sandwiched. So yeah, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure to join the free Discord. It is the first link in the description. And of course, if you want to see my power plays that I'm making with buying certain coins that not many people are talking about, that I do believe have a high potential, make sure to join the private community. You'll also get a portfolio review and a bunch of updates regarding news and technical analysis. But that is it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys did enjoy, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.